Humans have a pretty high opinion of themselves. We build cities, we invent crypto, and we think we own the place. But if you look at the biology, we aren't the owners of Earth. We're just the noisy tenants in apartment 4B. The real landlord is a shadow government that has been running the planet for 400 million years. They control the food supply, they control the communication networks, and they decide who lives and who dies. They are the fungi kingdom. And they aren't just mushrooms, they are the most ruthless mafia in history. Without them, you wouldn't have bread, you wouldn't have beer, you wouldn't have penicillin. And without them, the entire planet would be buried under a mountain of dead bodies within 20 years. So today, let's pay our respects to the family, because whether you like it or not, you work for them. When you walk through a forest, you think you're standing on dirt. You aren't. You are standing on a biological internet cable. In a single teaspoon of healthy soil, there can be up to 7 miles of fungal wiring, called mycelium. It is the largest continuous structure on Earth. It connects every tree, every plant, and every bush into a single grid. Scientists call it the Wood Wide Web, but it's not for sending memes. It's for insider trading. Fungi can't make their own food, photosynthesis, but they are expert miners. They can extract minerals from rock that plants can't touch. So they set up a trade. The fungus mines phosphorus and nitrogen, and the tree makes sugar from sunlight. It sounds like a nice, friendly partnership, right? Symbiosis, nature is healing. Wrong. It's not a partnership. It's a shakedown. The fungus wraps itself around the tree's roots and says, "Nice trunk you got there. Be a shame if you starve to death." Trees pay a heavy tax. They give up to 30% of their total sugar production to the fungal network just to stay connected. And fungi are ruthless capitalists. If a tree stops paying the sugar tax, the fungus cuts the line. They even play trees against each other. They will move nutrients from a rich tree to a poor tree, but only if the interest rate is good. It is a dynamic marketplace with supply, demand, and ruthless price gouging happening under your feet right now. They even run a welfare state. Big mother trees send sugar through the network to keep baby trees alive in the shade, but don't be fooled. The fungus isn't doing it for charity. It's keeping the baby alive to ensure a future customer base. But what happens if you're not a tree? What if you're an insect who gets a little too arrogant? Sometimes bugs multiply too fast. They threaten the ecosystem. So the family sends in a specialist, the cordyceps. This fungus is a bioweapon. It lands on an ant, drills through its armor, and starts digesting it from the inside. But it doesn't kill the ant immediately. That would be messy. Instead, it hijacks the nervous system. It literally cuts the connection between the ant's brain and its muscles. The ant is screaming internally, but the fungus is driving the car. It forces the ant to leave the colony and climb to a specific height, usually about 25 centimeters, facing exactly north. Then it executes the death grip. It forces the ant to bite down on a leaf and lock its jaw. The ant is now a statue. Once the host is secured, the fungus eats the ant's internal organs and explodes a stalk out of its head to rain spores on the family below. It's so effective that ants have evolved social distancing. If they see an infected brother, they carry him miles away and dump him. This proves one terrifying fact. Fungi understand neurobiology better than we do. They are the ultimate puppet masters. But their biggest power isn't murder, it's waste management. 300 million years ago, trees evolved a substance called lignin. It's the stuff that makes wood hard. It was indestructible. Bacteria couldn't eat it, animals couldn't eat it, so when trees died, they just stayed there. For 40 million years, the planet was covered in piles of dead, non-rotting wood. It was a fire hazard the size of a continent. Then the fungi evolved white rot. They figured out how to break the chemical bonds of lignin. Suddenly, the garbage disappeared. The nutrients returned to the soil, the cycle of life restarted. Today, fungi hold a total monopoly on decomposition. They own the patent on death. If the fungi kingdom went on strike tomorrow, life on Earth would end in a pile of undecomposed trash in about 20 years. They hold the kill switch for the entire ecosystem, and they know it. But what if we nuke the planet? Surely that would kill the landlord. Nope. In 1991, robots exploring the melted core of the Chernobyl nuclear reactor found something impossible. They found black mold growing right on the walls of the reactor. It wasn't dying from the radiation, it was eating it. It's called radiotrophic fungi. It uses melanin to convert deadly radiation into chemical energy. While everything else on Earth dies from radiation, the fungi just see it as an all-you-can-eat buffet. This means that if we destroy ourselves in a nuclear winter, the fungi won't even notice. They'll just inherit the property. But they don't just eat radiation. They also tricked humans into building civilization. Meet yeast, a single-celled fungus. We think we domesticated yeast to make bread and beer, but look at it from the yeast perspective. Humans spend billions of hours farming grain, processing sugar, and building temperature-controlled vats. We work to feed them. We clear forests to plant their food. We built an entire global economy just to keep yeast happy. In exchange, they poop out alcohol, which makes us drunk and happy, so we keep working for them. It's the perfect scam. They drugged us and we thank them for that. But some of them are still giants. We just can't see them because they're hiding. You think the blue whale is the largest living organism? That's cute, but it's wrong. In the Malheur National Forest in Oregon, there's a single honey mushroom that puts the whale to shame. It covers 2,400 acres. That is 1,600 football fields. It is a single, continuous organism. It is estimated to be 2,400 years old. It was alive when the Roman Empire was founded. It is a slow-motion monster. It has been slowly eating the forest from the roots up for 2 millennia. When you visit that park, you aren't walking in nature. You are walking on the back of a sleeping god. And finally, we have to talk about how they hack our brains. Humans have been eating magic mushrooms for thousands of years. But why does a fungus produce a chemical that fits perfectly into human receptors? Some theories suggest it was a defense mechanism to confuse insects, but it had a weird side effect on primates. Psilocybin hyperconnects the brain. It dissolves the ego. It makes you feel one with nature. Is it a coincidence, or is the fungi kingdom chemically programming us to care about the environment? Don't cut down the trees, man. Maybe that's not a spiritual awakening. Maybe that's just the landlord telling you to stop breaking the furniture. We tend to think of mushrooms as small, squishy things, but that's just their modern disguise. Before trees existed, the earth was ruled by giant mushrooms called prototaxites. These things were 26 feet tall. For 50 million years, they were the dominant structure on land. They ruled the planet while our ancestors were still trying to figure out how to grow legs. So when you kick a toadstool in your yard, remember, you are kicking a fallen king. Show some respect. But the fungi aren't done with us yet. We are finally starting to work for them. Scientists are now using mycelium to grow bricks, leather, and even packaging materials. We discovered fungi in the Amazon that can eat plastic. They might be the only thing that can clean up our mess. NASA is looking for myco-architecture for Mars, growing habitats out of fungi instead of carrying metal. It seems fitting. They conquered Earth 400 million years ago. Now they're coming for the solar system. The future isn't silicon, it's fungal. Which brings us to the final crazy theory. Where did they come from? Some scientists argue that fungal spores are tough enough to survive space travel. They can survive radiation, they can survive the vacuum, they can survive entry heat. It is possible they are the original colonizers. Panspermia, the seeds of life sent to terraform the rock. Are they Earthlings? Or are they just the first wave of an invasion that started 1 billion years ago? We don't know, and honestly, they're not telling. We share 50% of our DNA with fungi. We are closer to mushrooms than we are to plants. We are a blip in their history. When humans are gone, they will be the ones to break down our cities and turn our skyscrapers into soil. They are patient, they are efficient, and they are in charge. So the next time you see mold on your bread, don't just be disgusted, be impressed. That's the landlord checking in. He says rent is due on the 1st. Don't be late. And maybe, just maybe, order extra mushrooms on your pizza. It pays to be on the winning side. The forest is alive, but it's not the trees that are watching you.
If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more. And leave a comment. It really supports the channel. Thanks for watching.